Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi announced a new 25th Amendment commission to determine who's crazy in politics. And there was a press conference, but you may have missed the other press conference. I'll explain to you what happened at that. At that press conference, she had a list, and she said, Steny Hoyer, pass out the list to members of press of everyone I've determined who's crazy uh, in the Congress. And they pressed out the list, and they looked on the list, and they're like, Nancy, almost everyone in Congress is listed on this crazy list except you. And so the first question she got was, Madam Speaker, will you be giving second stimulus? Will you be giving multiple stimulus checks in your second stimulus package you'll be negotiating this weekend with Steve Mnuchin? She said, you're crazy. Get him out of the room. The next press reporter said, Madam House Speaker, I have a question for you. Will you be doing FPUC retroactive to late July? Because in your bill, you're only doing it retroactive to early September, and people will lose an entire month of FPUC retroactive benefits. She looked at them. She's like, he's the virus. Crush him. Get him out of the room also, and crush him outside as well. Finally, the third reporter said, Madam High Royalty and Deity, I have a question for you. In the bill, it looks like maybe you forgot to include something. She's like, what's that? What did I forget? You forgot to include some money for bailout for hairdressers so that they can come up with a beautiful new hairstyle for you. She's like, oh. Steny, make him head of the commission. Good morning, everyone. This is Morning to LA Light in a day in which it's incredibly dark. It's not. It's not the Temple of Doom, but I'm here, you're here. The butter's toasting. The butter's toasting. Okay, the butter's buttering. The toast is toasting. The coffee's brewing. It's a great Saturday morning to wake up to, and I'm glad you are here with your cat, your llama, your dog, your alpaca, your Pete the Peacock, and you're still sending me cats and dogs. So it's Catter Day. So if you have a beautiful cat that's watching me, I'd love to see him or her in some DM pictures. Go to the Funnish channel, subscribe. Subscribe because we are trying to reach 290,000 subscribers. So let's get to it. If you've not publicly subscribed, go into the sticky comment of this video to ensure that you're publicly subscribed. It would result in me being able to see a little icon next to your name to ensure that I know that you're a subscriber to this channel. So make sure you subscribe, 290,000. Also like this video. It helps with the video appearing higher in the algorithm rankings in a day in which people are wondering, did the UFO take my stimulus check? Let's get those videos out of the rankings. Let's get to the breaking details this morning. In this video, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be going over. Boy, Lord. So get your coffee and get your feet up and just relax because I'm covering a lot of stuff. First, I'm going to be going over that $1.8 trillion offer from the president. What significance does that make for you? Because no one has really gone through the analysis of whether we should be excited about 1.8, excited about 1.6, or excited about 1.3. Second, I'll be going over Nancy's $2.2 trillion offer and what that means to you as well. Third, I'll be going over the twist of the Senate, and this is really one of the most important things you'll see this morning. Fourth, I'll be going over that breaking news report, which I detailed on Evening's LA Light about an allegation that Donald Trump is being set up by Nancy Pelosi to think that she's going to do a deal and is not going to be doing a deal. Fifth, I'll be going over executive orders. The importance of today. It's Saturday. Let's get an executive order going on, Mr. President. Come on. And finally, sixth, I will be going over the big question that Wall Street has. Stimulus before the election or stimulus after or both? All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that yesterday, President Trump got everyone slightly excited when he announced he had raised his offer to $1.8 trillion. The question is whether you should be excited and what does this number mean for you? Let's go over you, the American people, and does that number make any difference from 1.3, 1.5, 1.6? The answer is no. The numbers that you're really looking at are stimulus check, FPUC, rent, and hazard pay. Those are really the numbers that you're looking at. We're certainly also considering EIDL grants and EIDL loans, but those numbers seem not to be in flux. Ironically, nowhere in the president's raising of that amount from 2 weeks ago at 1.3 to 1.8 or 1.7 or 1.6 are you getting any more money. And this is what's very disconcerting, that ultimately the president is trying to push a false narrative to the American public that you're somehow getting more money every time he raises the offer. And you're not. You're still still only getting one stimulus check, $1,200 individuals, $2,400 married couples. Now, the president, ironically, has not done what he said about stimulus checks. He said he wanted to give a more generous stimulus check than the Democrats throughout several weeks ago. Yesterday, he says he wants to do a deal that's bigger than the Democrats. Well, it's not for stimulus checks. And third, the president said 2 weeks ago that he was supporting the Problem Solvers bill, which gave you multiple stimulus checks, one now and one in March, both of the same amount, and the president took that away and is only giving you one stimulus check. So ultimately, by not doing exactly the Problem Solvers bill, the president's actually giving you less on stimulus checks. Additionally, there's two other parameters. First, the dependents. Viewers and myself are still very pissed off that no one is giving the dependents a full stimulus check. Nancy was going to, she got rid of it. The problem solvers weren't going to do it, and now the president won't do it. They're all talking $500 stimulus checks for dependents. This is not fair. It should be $1,200 for dependents. Additionally, the number of people in the household, really not clear. The president has gone up and down on that number, so we really aren't clear. Next, FPUC. Does the president's number help you more for FPUC? No. In fact, it actually hurts you. Steve Mnuchin said he was co-signing the Problem Solvers bill 2 weeks or last week, supported the Purple Powers position. The president the week before said, I will do the Problem Solvers bill. But the president is not doing the Problem Solvers bill when it comes to FPUC. They're offering they're offering $450 for 8 weeks, 5 weeks at $600. The president's doing less. He's doing $400 a week. So why is the president ramping up his dollar figure but cutting back on FPUC and stimulus checks? Let's go over to Nancy. Nancy's $2.2 trillion offer, which is a bill, I mean, it's not an offer, but it's a bill, has been the same offer she has had on the books since July. And ironically, the question is, since July, has Nancy Pelosi gotten you more money or taken more money away from you? The answer is she's taken a lot of money away from you and added the money to the federal government. She's continued to ramp up on salary raises for departments of the federal government while taking away money from you progressively. Why is this good? It's horrible. First, stimulus checks. She was going to give dependents a $1,200 stimulus check. Now she's at $500. She doesn't want to acknowledge that she's doing that, and included among that is children. Children will be going hungry because they'll be getting $500 stimulus checks from Nancy Pelosi, not $1,200 stimulus checks weeks earlier. Second, FPUC. She had always talked about FPUC not expiring. We can't have it expire. Well, it expired in July. And guess what? Her latest offer is to have it not retroactive to when it expired, but retroactive to September 5th. The net result is you'll lose 4 weeks of FPUC under Nancy Pelosi's proposal currently that you would not have lost before, which on her calculations is $2,400 you're losing. Third, hazard pay. The biggest atrocity of the situation is Nancy Pelosi took out hazard pay a week ago. $10,000 coming to you if you're an essential worker, if you worked during the pandemic and had enough number of hours. So she's taken away a stimulus, then she's, of course, she's not giving you a multiple stimulus check. She's not giving you a multiple stimulus check, that's $1,200. She's not giving you hazard pay, $10,000. She's not doing retroactive FPUC, $2,400. Do you see how much money this is? It's over $13,000 she has taken away from you and thrown it into the hands of Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York, and Gavin Newsom, governor of California, and into salary raises in the Department of Federal Governments. Next, the important thing to understand is the Senate. And the Senate is really one of the keys. Yesterday, I did something I've never done before on this channel, and apparently you loved it. Viewership was up through the roof. What I did was I separated the 4 afternoon LLA broadcasts into 4 separate issues. And where unemployment usually was, I did an entire special about the Senate. And the issue is very, very disconcerting. First, Mitch McConnell has closed the Senate. Second, he's not opening the Senate. Third, Senate Republicans have absolutely been dogs in the situation. First, there is upwards of 20 to 30 Senate Republicans who have said publicly they're not going to give you a penny for stimulus. But can it still pass without them? Yes. How about the remainder of the Senate Republicans? The remainder of the Senate Republicans, by the word of Chuck Grassley, a leading GOP in the Senate, says that they will not support a bill that is sent to them from the president, from Pelosi, and from Mnuchin that is over 1.5. Well, guess what? We're heading towards 1.8 pretty soon. And so by accounts of what they represent, it's never going to pass. So why are we doing a number that is so high? And why are we doing something that doesn't work? Item number 4 of this morning's broadcast. This is the big one. Set up. Is Nancy Pelosi setting up the president? Lord, a new report last night from Axios, which has sort of become sort of like the Real Housewives of political news, says that a source close to Pelosi and a source close to McConnell is reporting that there is a belief that Nancy Pelosi is setting up the president. The setup scheme alleges the following. Again, this is not a confirmed statement from any member of press, any member of Congress. It's an allegation from people off the record. The allegation is the following: that Nancy Pelosi, one, has no intention to ever give the president a stimulus package agreement before the election. 2, that's what she's trying to do is detract the president's attention from the Supreme Court nominee, which ultimately gives the Republicans the most push going into the elections because their electorate really likes it. Their party loves hearing about the Supreme Court nominee, and instead focuses on the hot mess express of stimulus. Third, that Nancy Pelosi would ultimately potentially give the president a deal on second stimulus, if she can draw the president up high enough to her number, in which he gives away the kitchen sink, then sends it to the Senate, and then cannibalizes the Republicans of the Senate because, as you just heard, they're not going to approve anything at $2 trillion. And so what she'll do is cause infighting between the Republicans on the eve of the election, 1, and 2, lock up time that should otherwise be dedicated to the passing of a Supreme Court nominee under the Republican agenda. It would be a double whammy she's trying to strike at to not get any Republican agenda pushed, cannibalize the party, and also cause a Democratic win in the Senate. This is the allegation of the report. Next, executive order. Executive order is so clear at this point. You've heard the setup. You've heard the problems of the Senate. You've heard the problems of the numbers. Executive order is what's really needed. Does America need to keep on going to 1.8 and 1.9? Does America need stimulus checks now? Does America need multiple stimulus checks now? The president should do an executive order right today. He should do an executive order for a very nice stimulus check. It should even be $1,200. The president has 2 choices. He can do an executive order for stimulus and FPUC right now, 2 executive orders. Second, he can just do an executive order for stimulus check and not one for FPUC because he already has one on the books. He just needs to fund it. Or 3, he can just do one for stimulus that's incredibly big. The first scenario is that there's enough money to do a stimulus and an FPUC executive order. And I've detailed that a lot on this channel. The second idea is that the president doesn't have to do one for FPUC because he already has an executive order. He just has to refund it. The third idea is just don't do FPUC right now because the people won't get that money. FPUC, absolutely, you categorically would not get it before the election because the states have to go apply for the money, then the states give the money, then the states send you the money, and ultimately a governor who's Democratic may try to slow down you getting the money. The president sending money from his hands by his route would get you the money before you go in the polling place. So by that account, The president should send a very hefty stimulus check to every American person right now. It should be $2,400. It should be $3,000. It shouldn't be $1,200. It shouldn't be $500. That would look silly. As we sit here today, the president has really not been on point with this. Finally, the question about election, before the election or after the election. Would a stimulus package be approved before the election or after the election? Would the president do executive order now or later? First, I don't think that there really seems to be a path at the moment to get stimulus by law, by act of Congress, done before the election. It seems very extenuated. It can be done, but I think it's in a very tight time frame. I mean, the Senate is reopened in late October, and you just have a few days, and I don't see it. I just see it a hot mess express unto itself. So why would the president not send out executive orders today? It's a Saturday, and viewers are always asking me, why has the president not done executive orders? LLA, can you tell me, why has the president not done executive orders? Here's what I have to tell you at the 15-minute mark before I get to some of your incredible questions from yesterday. Is one, the president may have Larry Kudlow in his ear. Larry Kudlow is the chief economist for the White House, and Larry Kudlow has been literally off the rocker on everything when it comes to this economy. He has said that the economy will be able to rebound fine without stimulus. That's categorically incorrect. I got to make this very clear to you. Larry Kudlow, who's the chief economist in the Trump cabinet, is telling the president on a regular basis, this economy is fine without stimulus. That's categorically incorrect by any economics. I'll tell you why. Because even the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, says that yes, the economy is rebounding, but it's rebounding very, very slowly. And if you don't give stimulus, the rebound will take upwards of several years. And over those several years, you'll see massive unemployment and massive evictions and massive problems. The way you do recovery is sharp, quick, and abrupt. You get the economy rebounding very abruptly in a 6-month period, not a 3-year period. And that requires lots of stimulus. Second, there's a concern that the president's looking at Wall Street too much, and I'm not the only one that's saying this. The president wakes up every morning and looks at Walmart and Target and Home Depot and Lowe's and sees that they don't need stimulus. They don't need stimulus. They're making fortunes. They're making absolute fortunes, as is Olive Garden's parent company, because it's tech savvy, as is other companies like Tesla, as is other companies that have nothing to do with this pandemic. And ultimately, what the president's looking at is certainly not an indicator of you. It's not an indicator of small businesses, and may think that you don't need stimulus because of what Wall Street looks like. And that's a misnomer. All right, let me get to some incredible questions from yesterday. Paulette, why can't they give the American people more money? It's going back into the economy. Amen, Paulette. It's like she works at the Federal Reserve. That's exactly what Jerome Powell said. Very well said, Paulette. Janet, we all need the money like everyone else does. Thank you for your comment, Janet. That's wonderful. Marilyn, I sent a tweet to Trump last night. Tell him to give us $2,000 checks and continue every month for 6 months by executive order ASAP. I love that. Thank you for comment, Marilyn. Let me make a quick comment here, personal comment. Twitter has instituted a new policy regarding tweets that are political before the election. So be aware of the following. First, don't tweet too quickly. So give pause and time between your tweets. Don't send out 20 tweets in 2 minutes. That could cause you problems. Second, don't send out too many tweets to the same person of the same nature over a short period of time. That can cause you a problem. Third, keep your tweets professional, respectful, and don't use language that could be seen as offensive. Victor, sounds like our president's being backstabbed by his own party. He needs to wake up. He does. The Republicans are not going to give him what he wants, and ultimately, if he focuses on the Congress, he will go down very badly. So what he needs to do is do executive orders. Mary, I was hoping he'd stop the negotiations because he was going to use executive orders. Well, he absolutely should do executive orders. Keith, politicians like Pelosi use the word soon, imminently, imminent, which actually means no when I feel like doing it. I love that comment. Diane, it should be $1,200 per month, retroactive from June to January, because $1,200 payment is not enough. Amen. Amen. Tell the president that. Absolutely. Elizabeth, we need 5 months of stimulus. We're traumatized by this ordeal. Absolutely. Valerie, we have faith in God that the stimulus will come through. Thomas, we are so slow. We need $6,000 for staying at home and wearing masks. Margaret, let's send our bills to Nancy Pelosi so she can pay for everything. I love that. Susan, the Hot Mess Express, the stations left months ago. Bean, yes, $12 for dependents every month until this is over. Cheryl, we need our money, the election. Miss Kathy Ann, I've only listened to the first minute of the show and my heart is already beating fast. Don't do that. I need you to stay calm. I need you to stay positive. If you're a person that's had a lot of stress from the situation, reach out to fellow people of the Purple Power. Reach out to me. We're here to keep you calm and happy and motivated and inspired. John Miller, it's all Nancy's fault. Tammy, oh God, how many times have we heard the checks are on their way? Not. They've never said the checks are on the way. Chris Walker, $3,000 to $5,000 per person. George, the people on Wall Street make millions. Danny, it's time for them all to take an IQ test. Bart, another typical Friday release. We're close to meeting next week, and we should have something done by next Friday. Well, this is Friday from the last Friday's speech. Nothing. Very well said. That's all that Nancy does, a lot of false promises. Georgia, we need help now. Amen. Charisse, talks, and no stimulus. Joe, when and if the pandemic arises, it's going to be weird and crazy. Martha Hale, I'm Martha Queensberry from Ohio. I've been emailing everybody in office. Email is wonderful. So is telephone. Do telephone and emails. Irene, when we need the money, we need it right now. Thomas, we should be on the 4th stimulus check by now. You're right, Thomas. Maybe even 6. Teresa, because the unemployment's taken so long, we need more money. The $12 check is not enough. Teresa Braden, thank you for your comment, and thank everyone else for their comments. Go to the front of this channel to subscribe. We're trying to reach 290,000 subscribers. Let's do it. Let's get to 290. Make sure you subscribe. If you're listening but not subscribing, it's important. That way, you get an alert when a new video goes live. Also, hit that alert button on the front of this channel. Meantime, like this video. It helps for the video to appear higher in the ranking. Coming up next is 28 as we approach the final days before the election. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay in LA for more.